What's going on, guys? SimplyPops here, and I'm making this one real quick, talking about the discontinuation of iTunes as an end of an era. Nearly 2 decades of having iTunes, Apple is going to kill it, man. It's pretty much confirmed at this point. Sources are claiming this. Genius, Complex. As we all know, WWDC is coming up on Monday, so Apple is going to announce iOS 13, watchOS, tvOS, HomePod OS, maybe. Basically all the software stuff of Apple is gonna be announced at WWDC. We might even have some hardware refresh too, so they might even reveal the Mac Pro. We're gonna have to wait and see what Apple is gonna do at WWDC. But on Mac OS, they're gonna kill off iTunes. Now, it might be the same thing with the iPhone. Maybe they might kill off the iTunes Store. Now, there was a rumor going around saying that Apple is going to discontinue the iTunes Store, so you have to have an Apple Music subscription to listen to your music via Apple. And I made a video talking about this like 2 years ago or a year ago. Apple is planning on discontinuing iTunes Music downloads. You guys know what this means? We get into a new era of music. Worst case scenario, what Apple is going to do is probably rename iTunes to Apple Music, so you could be able to purchase some songs and be able to subscribe to Apple Music if you like. So I see that happening, and then they're going to separate the podcasts, the TV shows, the movies, stuff like that. They're going to have it individual applications, so it's going to be a standalone applications for everything, and that's how it should have been. A lot of people didn't like iTunes because it was so clunky. It was just like everything is all in one. It could be a good thing, but it was getting complicated. It was overwhelming to have all those stuff or all those things that you could do on iTunes. Like, it was crazy to even think about. Like, iTunes is Apple Music, iTunes is podcast, iTunes is for movies too. So it was a little bit complicated for the consumer to follow, but I'm certainly gonna miss iTunes. Like, I feel like the core mechanic of iTunes is not gonna be dead. I mean, sooner or later it might be dead with the iTunes Store, but I think we still gonna have an Apple Music. Let's say that. We definitely gonna have like an Apple Music. We definitely gonna have a program on our Macs to listen to music. It's definitely gonna happen, but we don't know if Apple is gonna just kill off the iTunes Store, or they're just gonna rename it to Apple Music, where you could be able to purchase songs and be able to listen to Apple Music, stream your favorite songs, or it's just gonna be a streaming only. We don't know yet, but iTunes, I feel like the name is dead. It's 100% confirmed at this point, and it's sad to see the name iTunes go away. It's gonna be obsolete. It's gonna be one of those things where you tell your kids 5 or 10 years later from now, like, yo, I remember iTunes. Like, iTunes used to give me double songs, or used to, skip tracks, and man, good old days, man. If you had an iPod, you understand. iTunes used to troll. You rip a CD and it miss a track, or it gives you double tracks. It was annoying, but I'm gonna miss those days, man. I am gonna miss those days of iTunes. And a lot of people have been wondering what's gonna happen if I want to restore my iPhone, or if I want to be able to put my iPhone to DFC mode. How do I update my device manually? I think Apple is not going to kill that functionality. I think they might have something on the system preferences on Mac where you could be able to modify, or not modify, but fix up your device if you want to manually update it, or if you want to restore your device. Or better yet, they might even have it on Apple Music where you could be able to, have everything right there. It's just like iTunes, but just with a different name. So my guess, I think they're just gonna separate all the applications and just rename iTunes to Apple Music. But that functionality of syncing and restoring your iPhone, I don't think that's gonna be dead. It'll be silly of Apple to kill that, because I've seen it all the time. I had to drop off my MacBook to replace the battery, and a lot of Apple employees sometimes struggle, and they had to take out a MacBook Air and launch up iTunes and restore the device. Just the other day, or just a couple of months ago, my friend Alvin, shout out to Alvin, his iPhone 6S was corrupted. The data got corrupted out of nowhere. It just was at a boot loop at the Apple logo. I had to open up iTunes, I had to restore it. So iTunes saves a lot of devices. It'll be silly if Apple removed that functionality altogether. It's going to be an alternative. It's definitely going to be an alternative to that. It'll be silly if Apple remove it. I can even say this today. Kids don't understand how revolutionary the iPod was. And this thing definitely changed the music industry. And like I said, I am working on a video on like how music came from LimeWire to iPods to streaming it on your phone, millions of songs. It's amazing, man. It's amazing on how technology evolves, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's sad, but it's something to move on. You know what I mean? It's something that's going to be better, and the better thing is obviously Apple Music. Now my question is, what's going to be next after Apple Music? What's next after streaming? Only time will tell, man. So guys, that's pretty much it. RIP iTunes. Let me know down in the comments down below, what are your favorite memories of iTunes. My favorite memory is hands down just the fact how you could rip a CD, put it on the iPod, and sometimes you get trolled. Sometimes it could be doubles, and like I said, with the LimeWire days, you don't test out the song and it be some BS. It could be another song. LimeWire is good, man. I'm gonna make a video on LimeWire talking about that soon. But yeah, drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. And other than that, your boy Pops, and I'm out. Deuces.